Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to the American Innovator. John and I are on the road again. If it's not Japan, China, or somewhere else in Germany.
Now we're taking a road trip to Anacortes, Washington.
Yeah, not too far away, because a while back I met two amazing people, George and Mary Russell, from Aspen, Colorado. I was up there skiing, and I got on a gondola lift, and here were these older couples with snowboards. They identified themselves as Grays on Trays, which I thought was very comical. They were winsome, outgoing, and just really energetic people. And as we got to talking on our 15-minute trip up to the top of Aspen Mountain, they told me this summer they were biking across the United States. Well, there aren't a lot of people that do that.
And this is Mary. She just turned 60 years old, or
yeah,
her birthday, I think today or this week. And George, he's going to be 65 in August.
Right, and they're just the specimen of health and energy and vitality and winsomeness, and they're just awesome people. And George is from Scotland. So today is the day they are starting their cross-country trip from Anacortes to Maine, and we're going to go down there at 7:30 and meet them at the Washington Park right by the Anacortes Ferry, where they dip their back wheel in the water and start their trip and do a quick little interview with them.
And then I guess their goal is to actually dip their front wheels in the Atlantic Ocean when they get to Maine. I think it's going to take them like 3 months or something to go across country, which that seems like pretty fast to think about going on a bike.
Yeah, that's a long time. So about 80 days. Yeah. And in the interview, you'll see we'll talk about a lot of different things, but one of the thoughts would be how cool it would be if we were to get a weekly update on their journey across the United States on every Saturday morning, because these people are really smart people. They have a lot of wisdom and a lot of good advice, and you're going to hear that as we interview George and Mary Russell on the American Innovator in just a minute. But we also want to talk about the app of the week and the business of the week and those things that are near and dear to our hearts, because we always like to disseminate great information on the American Innovator. So, you know, we've talked about this app, Evernote, for the last 2 weeks. You brought it up, I naysayed it. Last week I told everyone I was wrong and that it's a great app, but I didn't really get a chance to elaborate on it because of the guests that we had on last week, and we always like to give a little more meat. So I want to tell people why Evernote is such a powerful program, because I did not elaborate it on the week before. The number one reason why this program is so great compared to just putting notes like in your iPad in the notes field, or sending an email to yourself, or updating on your task list, is that this program is virtual, in that somewhere in Scotland, I think it is where their servers are, my to-do list is saved. But of course, I can access my to-do list from anyone's computer or from any device I have. So anytime I want to look at my to-do list, whether I'm in Germany or China, it's a couple clicks away and it's right there. And the program is powerful because it allows you to store photographs, video clips, anything you want in every one of these to-do lists or items.
And what's even better is that you can take a picture of somebody's business card or a handwritten note, and it actually has the capability, it has a search engine once it gets uploaded, and it's able to convert a photograph of text into searchable text,
which is pretty staggering.
It's amazing.
So you could have an ad for a movie, let's say, a movie trailer, and it could say Harrison Ford in there, and it has the ability to crawl through that marketing material.
Right, the picture of it, and actually be able to ascertain what the text is. So you could search for Harrison Ford and it'll pull up a picture of that marketing material.
Right, and it eliminates all the other notes. So one of the problems that you have when you take notes is you have, you know, like in my notes file, my original one on my iPad, you know, I have probably 100 different notes that I've taken. And then when I want to go find that, I can use the search engine, but it doesn't work great. In this case, you could have, you know, 1,000 notes. And with just a couple clicks, like if I want all the notes that I've ever talked about lean, I could type in L-E-A-N.
Right.
Or if I want to talk about all my to-do lists, I have a to-do list for all the videos I have to shoot. I have a personal to-do list, and I have a business to-do list. I could just put in to-do, and it shows me those 3 to-do lists, and I can quickly click on one, edit it, and of course the second I edit it, it's updated to my iPhone, my iPad, my Mac, my PC, and anything I want. And that is really an amazing application, and it's free. Now, I did upgrade this last week to version that costs me about $5 a month. It allows me to store, pretty much unlimited data, photographs and videos, and it actually gives me that material saved on my device as opposed to just remotely.
Right, and then you can also, from the web browser, you can actually share notebooks, and in those notebooks are your notes, so you can share them with other people.
Right, so I can send that note to you, John. Like, let's say I have a note now that's titled Guests for the American Innovator, and I can email that clip to you, but I can email that to anyone for that matter.
Right.
So where's the power in having the subscription versus not?
Well, the subscription gives you a lot more data. It gives you preferred. Remember, we talked about searching text, so it does that. It does that crawling through the pictures in order to make that search text.
Well, you're not going to get that with the free service.
And then when I actually upgraded, we were in China at the time when I was using it, and I took notes for the American Innovator when we broadcast live when we got to Hong Kong, and I couldn't get my notes when I wasn't online. So as soon as I subscribed for the premium version, even when I was offline, I still had access to my notes. So, Wi-Fi and data connectivity is pretty much easily available anywhere here in the United States. But when you're in some remote place, you want to be able to keep everything offline too. So that's the other advantage.
And that's a big advantage.
And then being able to share it with other people. So those are some of the things.
And this one other thing I did notice about Evernote that was interesting, for instance, when I'm making my list of all the potential guests for the American Innovator, I'm now also downloading a photograph of that guest along with their contact information all in one file. And so it's really powerful to be able to have pictures of everyone accompanying all your notes. But with the free service, I was inserting all those pictures, and then when I go to grab that file, as it got very large because there's a lot of pictures and a lot of potential guests, it took a little long to download the information. The second I upgraded to the $5 a month service,
came locally offline.
It was instant. I mean, so they restricted that pipeline just a little bit, so to make you want to buy the service. But I think for $5 to be hyper or uber organized, it's worth it.
Well, one of the business cards I'm going to add to my Evernote, in fact, I have a whole notebook just called business cards, so I keep all my business cards there. And
how powerful is that?
This is George and Mary's bike ride across the U.S. for Parkinson. So we're going to meet them, and they're actually doing this bike ride to raise money for Parkinson's disease. They're basically snowbirds in Vail, Colorado. Where you
it's actually Aspen.
Oh, sorry, Aspen. And apparently they have a friend that has advanced Parkinson's, so they're trying to raise money for them. I think it's going to be like they're trying to raise $15,000. They already have a couple $1,000s under their belt. Right. So actually, on the American Innovator, we'll have links to where you can actually make a donation if you want to, and also he's keeping a travel diary blog too. So that'll be interesting to stay in touch with that. But as you said earlier, hopefully we'll be able to talk to him each week through this next 3 months on the American Innovator, just get a brief update. So
you got it.
That should be a lot of fun.
So, and one more app I want to talk about in this opening subject, and it's really not an app, it's a program on the iPhone or on the iPad that everybody probably always uses. It's called, iTunes. And there is a new service that became available on iTunes that is so powerful. Of course, my children showed it to me, and not a lot of people know about this, but some people do. And what happens is, over the past 5 years that I've been using iTunes, I bought a lot of music. And I probably bought maybe 100 different songs and maybe 3 or 4 different books on iTunes. That's really not true. I probably bought about 30 books on iTunes. But whatever, nonetheless, I've lost some of that music through new computers, syncing errors, and things like that. But iTunes just changed the system, if you get the upgrade, where if you go into the menu, you can click on one of the tabs that says Purchased. And when you click on Purchased, it gives you your entire history of every song you have ever purchased, no matter if you lost the computer crashed, or anything else on iTunes. And it allows you to re-download those songs and books for free.
Wow.
And I went and did it, and I recaptured over 50 songs in about, I think it was 10 books that I had lost.
That was one of the reasons why I liked Audible.com, is because it always kept it out there and you could download it when you needed it. And iTunes is pretty much, once you download it, that digital media, if your computer crashed or something like that, you were just, you're out of luck.
Okay, well, those are some of the cool new things for the American Innovator this week, and we're just about ready to arrive.
Yeah, turn here, Paul.
Exactly, we're going to turn here, And we're just about ready to arrive and see Mary and George Russell on their trip across the United States. And we'll be right back on the American Innovator. And you're camping all the way across the United States.
We're camping, well, yeah, we'll probably spend about every fourth night in a motel because we like to charge our computers and our cell phones. We like to get the weather forecast.
And I like to wash my clothes.
Yeah.
He's not so fussed. Yeah.
We're trying to wash clothes every night.
When I go camping, I go by the campfire, do all that, and then I go back to the hotel. See you guys in the morning.
I don't do hotels. I'm never going to tell you that. I have this funny joke with our family. They go camping. I fly my plane in. I spend the night. I spend the day and sit around the campfire. And then we get in the plane, fly home, and sleep my own bed. I'm terrible. I'm a Boy Scout too. I'm an Eagle Scout. I just don't do sleeping bags anymore.
Why don't you pack your bed and fly it into the?
Oh, I could. I could just do the whole bed and assemble it right there, and away we go. Yeah.
He's a Scotsman. He loves to suffer. As my sister said, George is not having a good time unless he's suffering. That's
Well,
that Scottish Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are really good hikers. I mean, the back country of Scotland is beautiful, and it's a very popular thing to do.
It is.
People, right?
It's quite beautiful. And the great thing about Scotland is they have a right to roam. So you can walk anywhere you like in Scotland, stay within the law. Virtually, except where you can't walk through people's gardens.
A right to roam.
And the right to roam legislation in Scotland, and you can walk wherever you like.
Well, I experienced that when I was back there. I walked and wandered everywhere. It was just an awesome experience.
Do you walk into bank vaults and things like that?
You know.
They discourage that.
Little restrictions there, but no, by and large, in Scotland, you can walk where you want.
Wow.
So when I first met you guys, I was jumping on the gondola at Aspen, and there you guys are, all bright and cheery and happy, and you introduced yourself as George and Mary Grays on Trays.
Grays on Trays. We were boarding.
You were snowboarding.
Yeah, Grays on Trays.
And so you're 60. How old are you again?
Well, I'm going to be 65 on September the 26th.
And you're celebrating this because of Mary's 60th birthday.
And you're 63, yes.
Right.
So hopefully we finish.
And you guys were cutting it up there, man. You guys
Yeah.
were
A little bit,
snowboarding.
a little bit, yeah.
And I thought I was a tough guy at 51 getting up there and dicing it up, but you guys are up there on snowboards.
Well, take it up, Paul.
Yeah.
Take up snowboarding. Have you tried it?
Should I?
Oh, it's fabulous. It's so much fun.
Better than skiing?
Better than skiing. But go to Snowmass. Don't do Aspen. Aspen's a little bit.
You got a lot of areas. It's so much bigger areas.
You need like
more
wide spaces.
Or even
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk. If you're gonna walk.
Yeah, the first day of snowboarding, it's quite painful, especially when you face plant and catch the edge.
Yeah.
Once you get past that learning curve.
But
Of course, that's probably why you like snowboarding, because you like to suffer, right, George?
Correct. I'm not happy about it. I've got to push myself.
Very good, John. I tell you, very quick on the up.
But it's a little bit like
Pay
like
attention.
hitting your hand with a hammer. You know, when you stop.
Oh, the wonders of snowboarding. I love it. Well, I see all these people with broken wrists and everything. I go, I don't need to break anything, and I'm good at skiing, so why should I torture myself? But you're saying I should take it.
You've got to get out of your comfort zone, Paul. And that's what this is
Oh.
about. Get out of that comfort zone.
Okay, well, you guys have inspired me. That's why I'm here, because you guys are so amazing.
Somebody once said to me, that as you get older, what you've got to try and do is every day do something that you're a little bit frightened of.
Oh.
And that's
That's
been a
what I'm
good lesson
doing.
for me.
Wow, isn't that good,
That's
Mom? You're
what
doing
I'm
the same
doing,
thing too, and you're
Paul.
doing a great job, Mom.
Yes,
for
I
sure.
am.
Wow.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, so every day Mom's working out, she's getting stronger every day, and
Fun.
she's recovering and doing a great job. And
Fantastic.
so this morning when I woke her up, though, I got to tell you this funny story. 5 o'clock, I said, "Mom, we got to go down and meet George and Mary." Well, what is George and Mary going to do? They're going to ride across the United States on their bikes. And they're about as old as you are.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I'm not riding across the United States." I said, "Mom, we're only 5 days into your workout plan. You're not quite ready yet."
Yeah, I'm
Next
really
year.
a senior.
I know.
I'm really a senior.
86. I'm not riding across the United States on my bike.
But boy, you're doing well. I can see
Yes,
Doing
I
well?
am.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to pedal, you just got to get on those handlebars and hold on.
That's right. So talk to me about your bikes. You have special bikes here to do this with? I mean, this is a long trip.
I have a great bike. Mine is called a long haul trucker.
Oh, really?
Surly long haul trucker.
So this is specifically for long haul riding.
Yeah.
And what's unique about it?
It's a steel frame. It's
Okay.
actually quite a heavy bike. That says long haul trucker. And the other thing I love about it, it says fatties fit fine.
What does that mean?
Referring to the rider and the tire.
I see. So why steel? Because you think aluminum, you think you want lightweight.
It's because you have to carry weight. You don't want, when you're this sort of weight, if you hit a pothole, you don't want the wheel buckling or the frame buckling. So it's really designed for carrying heavy weight.
And this is your sleeping pad right here. You got the
Yeah.
nice little foam thing that folds out, which
Yeah.
is nice and modular.
Yep. And
You got your side bags.
Plus an air mattress.
And this is all waterproof.
All water.
With your side bags, your saddle bags.
They're German. They're Ortlieb.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but they're well worth it.
And anything special about your seat? It looks nice and hard, and like your butt's going to be sore in a couple minutes.
It's a touring seat. It's made by Terry, the women's bicycle company. And I've got my laundry drying on the back.
Oh, wow. See, this
Paul,
is-
you thought you were lean just taking your backpack for 7 days in Germany.
This is a show about lean manufacturing, and these people are lean. George and Mary are the epitome of lean. Check this out, man.
There's
Everything
80
for
days
80
worth
days
of traveling.
on a bike, and the laundry drying on the back.
You don't have that many clothes.
Does it take quarters?
I'm pretty much.
So do you wash your clothes like in the bathtub and stuff?
No, in the sink.
In the sink?
Bring it on the plug.
Wow.
Interesting, we learned over the years.
Now it looks like George is loaded up a little heavier than you, Mary. What's
Yeah.
going on over here?
He's carrying all the bricks.
He's got 4 saddlebags. Is this just a smart woman at work and
George the
a
Sherpa.
man that's still in love?
Well,
Is that-
well
is that
I
what
tell
it
you,
is?
before we leave Mary's bike, let me tell you a story. When we were in Gainesville, Florida last year, we went to a bike shop, and a really good guy who travels around America, but he's a cycle tourist, and he looked at my bike, and he came to Mary's bike, and he said, he did this, he did this. He said, "Oh, you know, guys would kill to have a wife who carried weight like that." Well, she's been dining out on that ever since.
Oh, really?
His wife will go touring, but she refuses to carry the weight.
Oh, I
So
see.
to have a woman that carries weight like that,
Oh, wow.
so she's pretty good. But I carry a little bit more, not much. but
And
a
so
little
what
bit,
do
a
you
little
think
bit
you've got here? What does your bike weigh?
more. My bike weighs
With all the gear?
with all the gear and
got
the
4
stuff.
saddlebags.
It's about 100. It's about 100 pounds.
100 pounds.
About 100 pounds.
And are you a steel frame as well?
Steel frame.
I think you've got
And that's
aluminium.
pretty
You're
normal
right.
for touring bikes, for bikes that go cross country.
Yeah, yeah.
That's about what I'm carrying in my midsection, so I gotta do that all the time.
I'm probably carrying more than most people because we like our comfort.
Yeah.
So we have a good tent, we have good sleeping bags, we carry quite a bit of food with us in form of nuts and dried fruit.
Yeah, what is
And
the
that's
diet
okay.
on something like this? What are you doing?
Yeah,
What do you eat?
food's a problem.
Yeah?
But getting food that's nutritious.
So you don't just stop at 7-Eleven and go in and grab something real
we
quick?
try
Try not to.
And we did just like avoid McDonald's. Or
Yeah,
fast
good.
food.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
can't
Can't do that and perform.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, food's a bit of an issue. We carried a lot of organic nuts
Okay.
and dried fruit. Food shop.
Very good.
Yeah. When we go to China, we do a lot of peanuts and salt and snacky nature-made peanut butter bars. By the time we get back, we're so sick of those things.
Yeah.
They're not going to take us with us on the next bike trip until we eat that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, but we do carry a nice bottle of wine, a decanter, some cheese and crackers.
You guys don't have any of that. There's no bottle of
No,
wine here.
no. If I was in Scotland, I'd have a glass.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
nice bit of Macallan or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You know, for
yeah.
a 20-year-old.
Well, Washington State, you probably get a DUI in this state, just
So
carrying
do
an
you
open
expect
container.
a flat tire when you're going across the country?
We tend not to have flat tires, I'm touching wood here,
Yeah.
but we have tires called Schwalbe tires. This is a Schwalbe marathon class tire, and they're really good. They've got a very, very good, the component
Kevlar.
in it. It's Kevlar.
Oh.
And I think in all the tours, we've done 10 tours now. Maybe we have 3 tours.
You've done 10 tours?
Yeah. Maine
So
and-
twice from south to north? Is that what you said? How
No,
many?
just
One
one,
time.
but a lot in the south of France. Because we were in Scotland, we started touring. in
Now
south
that's
France.
beautiful down
We
there, right?
started at the premier cycling country in the world.
Which is the south of France.
The Mecca of cycling. Provence
I'll hold
is the
that.
Mecca.
You can
The
do
Mecca of
Wow.
cycle touring.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
but,
I'm good.
Oh, you're never in
But the
picture,
tours
are
in
you?
America that we had have been phenomenal. We did the first time we did the first part of the Lewis and Clark Trail from Alton, Illinois to Pierre, South Dakota,
Wow.
following the Missouri River.
We got a great
confluence
book
of the
for you to
Mississippi
read.
and the
We
Missouri.
had Randall Benson on. He wrote a book
Time
called
we did the first part of the Lewis and Clark Trail from Alton, Illinois to Pierre, South Dakota,
Wow.
following the Missouri River.
We got a great
confluence
book
of the
for you to
Mississippi
read.
and
We
Missouri.
had Randall Benson on. He wrote a book called The Quest, which is about Lewis and Clark. And if you want to read a great book, that would be with The Quest. The Quest Effect.
The Quest Effect.
Quest Effect. So if
Okay.
you rode the Lewis and Clark Trail,
There's another very good book called On Daunted Courage by Stephen Ambrose.
Oh.
The Lewis and Clark.
I don't know if you've read that.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, they're my heroes. After
Shackleton, forget about it.
Endurance.
I'm telling you.
We just finished that book
We
6
just
months ago,
finished it.
Endurance.
We
That
just
was
finished
awesome.
Shackleton, I'm telling you, it takes your breath away.
Quite phenomenal.
That man did not give up.
Phenomenal. But Lewis and Clark come pretty close, I think. Their expedition up to Missouri is running just phenomenal. So we were pleased to follow that. We got a bit bored in North Dakota. We sort of South Dakota we got to, and that got a bit tiresome. So we quit that stage. Actually, we never intended to go on beyond here. So that was the first year touring. Then the second year was the Underground Railroad, which goes all the way from Mobile to Lake Huron, where 40,000 slaves found their way to freedom, traveling mostly at night without clothes.
No kidding. The Underground Railroad.
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman, yeah.
Correct. We went through all that lovely country and all these Civil War battle sites at Shiloh and Fort Donelson. So that was a phenomenal tour. With the first stage we did Mobile to Cincinnati, following all these southern rivers, and then joining the Ohio River and eventually ending up at Cincinnati. And then the following year we did Cincinnati to Lake Huron. Up over the Peace Bridge.
So, you know, kind of transitioning, you guys live in Aspen now, right?
We live in Snowmass Village.
Right.
Yeah, near Aspen.
And that's really, in my mind, I go to skiing a lot in Aspen. Whenever I go there, I always marvel at the people that live there because they're really living a dream beyond all imaginations, living in one of the most beautiful places in the world. You get to experience nature at the peak, right? And ski and everything. That took some courage to leave everything behind, if you will, and go there. Why did you guys do that?
Well,
Why Aspen, too?
Mary got to did her time with me in Scotland. It was time for us to go and live in the United States. We'd always
Make it sound like it's a prison sentence. You got
Yeah.
paroled, huh?
Yeah.
Parole from Scotland. Scotland's beautiful, but go ahead. Okay, so Mary
she
wanted to
complained
come
a bit
back.
about the weather.
Right.
So Mary was keen to come back, and I came back kicking and screaming.
It was an open range prison though, because you get to wander anywhere you want.
We had always been keen on skiing in the mountains, and two of our children had worked in Snowmass at the Snowmass Hotel. Both of them had jobs as receptionists for winter season at the Snowmass.
And I met your children.
You met one of them.
You met one of them, that's right.
You met Duncan.
And what did Duncan do? Was he
Duncan's a
a
veterinary pathologist.
That's right,
At
that's
Ohio
right.
State University.
That's right.
And you met Katie, who's a veterinary surgeon. at Ohio
That's
State.
right. They're both doctors, as I recall. Right.
Correct.
Okay.
But Jane and Megan, who you didn't meet, had both worked in Snowmass Village at the Silver Tree Hotel for a season. When they were there, we came out to visit them.
Right.
And it was beautiful place. I went there.
Yeah, I've said that many times.
But we did need to work because having retired a little early at age 60, I didn't have enough pension funds to last me forever without working. And Snowmass Village was a good place where we get work.
Yeah.
So I got a job driving a shuttle bus.
Right.
Village shuttle bus in Snowmass Village. And Mary worked for the ski company around the ski.
It was hilarious because we came over to a job fair in October at the Buttermilk Club's restaurant. And as we walked into the job fair, suddenly we were descended upon by all these people offering us jobs. Because they knew we don't do drugs, they knew we don't get drunk, they knew we'll turn up and work on time.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you'd
like,
be dependable, and everybody wanted you to work for them.
Yeah, and not at all we expected people we thought drugs were far too old.
Well, there's hope for me.
Yeah.
There's hope for me. I just
They
go to
love-
Aspen and they're going to descend down. I look like that too, don't I? You know, I can fit that profile.
And our work one of my
absolutely.
work colleagues is 75 and he got Employee of the Year this year. So I love it.
There's hope for me.
Well, you spent half the year on the bike sleeping on the side of the road. I mean, your expenses got to be pretty minimal too.
Yeah, well, we like to eat well at night. We try to find the best restaurant we can whatever town we're in. We try to find the best
yourself
restaurant.
well.
So we eat very well at night. We ate very well at Anacortes last night. We had a lovely restaurant.
Oh, good for
really
you.
good fish last
What
night.
was the restaurant? You remember?
Madrid?
The Drift?
Adrift or something Adrift.
Okay.
Yeah,
Drift,
yeah.
okay.
Opposite the post office, downtown Anacortes.
Mm.
Very
And
good
just
restaurant.
for our listeners, we have the most spectacular view. We're at the park, at the Washington State Park, right in Anacortes. We're looking out over all the islands. We have, white clouds, blue skies, people putting their boats in. You guys are all dressed up in your gear with your fluorescent green vests on and ready to take the trip of a lifetime. Team Fox.
Team Fox, Parkinson charity. Nothing to do with Fox TV News, who are
Okay.
pacing throughout.
Right.
This is Michael Fox, Parkinson's charity.
Excellent.
And so we both have this on. We hope to appear in these little towns and show what we're doing. Hopefully, people will support us with it.
Good. Okay.
So if somebody wants to make a contribution, what do they go to a website, or where can they go do that?
They do. They go to that website that is on that little card that I gave to you just now. And the card is www.teamfox.org/2011/George and Mary Trans Am.
Okay.
And if they go to that, they can donate online. And I circulated a lot of people in Scotland and in the UK, and a lot of them have already supported, albeit it's a Scottish and Canadian charity.
Right.
They have supported already. So our goal was to try to raise $15,000.
Good.
I think we're up about 2,000.
Okay,
Awesome.
So you got 80 or 90 days to go.
We've got a lot to go.
Yeah, you haven't even started pedaling yet, and you already got 2,000.
Here we go.
Well, we'll make a contribution as well at the American Innovator and encourage our listeners to do the same. These are amazing people. When I met George and Mary and I got on that lift, I knew I was dealing with a different caliber of individual.
That's all you could talk about when you came back.
I'm gonna have a big head here.
You were happy, you engaged me, you were just like, wow, this is fun, and you introduced yourself as Grays on Trays, right? So, which was older people with gray hair on snowboards, which now I've been forced to come out of my comfort zone, and I got to learn how to snowboard now because of you guys.
But you haven't got gray hair right
You know, well, I got a little right here. See, I got a little right here. And you want to see my chest, Mary?
No, don't. It's too sexy. Don't, stop.
Right here, okay?
You got a few years for it to get on.
I think at the end of the day, though,
Can't upload it if you do that.
they gave us some great advice, and I think the best one was that as you get older in your life, always do one thing that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable every day.
It's actually a
Let it
motto.
be an adventure.
It's a motto from the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Learn to be uncomfortable.
So is there any other advice you want to give our listeners? Because you guys have lived a great life, a great robust life, and still living it vibrantly. What else could you tell us?
I think you can learn an awful lot from people, and traveling through small town America, it restores your faith in humanity. There are some just lovely, lovely people out there, and going on an unsupported bike trip where you go through these small towns where people are so incredibly welcoming, hospitable, and generous. And they teach you a lot. We learn so much about people, and we've been so hugely impressed with the lovely welcome we've had in small town America. So get out and meet these lovely people, because they're there. If you look for them, you'll find them. Ask them questions, find out what they do, find out what makes them tick, and you get a great reward from them.
You know what I thought would be fun? Wouldn't it be cool that every Saturday morning that we can to check in with George and Mary on where they are and what
That'd
they've
be
seen,
awesome.
and just keep everybody up to date?
Do you guys have like a flip video camera or something like that?
no,
You should
but
just
on
do
that
an
little-
interview and snip it all together for
On
80
that little
days.
card you've got there, there's what we're on it. We update a blog every day. There's Crazy Guy on a Bike blog site.
Okay.
And the reference is on that that card. And if you check into that, you'll see I updated it last night in my tent.
Okay.
We've uploaded the section from Sacramento to Victoria.
Okay.
We still do the
Awesome.
section from Victoria to
Well, we'll
Anacortes.
check into that and we'll do a commentary on that.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I'm just so inspired by you, and thanks for being on the American Innovator.
Thank you for coming
Okay,
out, Paul.
thanks, Mary.
Paul, thank you so much for coming out.
Absolutely.
As a man of his word.
Yeah.
He said in Aspen that time going up to Gondola
That's right.
that you would come and
I
see
would
us
come
all.
see you.
And here he's here, dead on 7:30.
Right
He's a man
on.
of his word.
Right on. I was 1 minute late, but we tried hard.
Good.
All right, thanks. You guys.
Fantastic.
Have a
Thank
great
you so much. Appreciate it.
Can you help me down from this table, Paul? I'm tired. Gotta walk all the way back to this car over
We
here.
have a nice bottle of wine, followed by a nice malt whiskey at the end of it.
Oh, that's Scottish.
Wouldn't that be good?
We're gonna make that happen.
Ah,
I'm
go.
gonna be there just because of that. Because you said the whiskey, hey, that's it.
And when do you
And
next
I don't even drink, and I'm gonna come for that.
When do you next in Aspen?
Whenever you invite me to Connecticut, man.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
we're there.
You tell me. I'm gonna go back and hike pretty soon. I have a couple friends in Aspen that have invited me back, and we'll go back and do a lot of 14,000 foot mountain on the goal. All right. So it's all. There is something magical about Aspen. I don't know what to say. It's a city with a soul like none other. And I just love going there. And you know where I go to the most? that's the most amazing, right? But the real reason I go there is the people. I meet the most interesting people ever when I go there. I go there just to meet people, and I go by myself a fair amount. And when I go there, wow, this is really special. So let's do it. Let's go down to the water and let's do it. Okay. So here we go. George and Mary are taking their bike down to the Pacific Ocean or down to the Puget Sound. We are going to dip the wheels. You can hear the rocks. We're going over rocks like a steep.
I'll dip my heels in there.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
Rear wheel, absolutely. It's got to be the rear wheel. It's got to be the rear wheel. With the rear wheel.
Oh my, this is so special to be able to see it. I have never experienced this before, and here I am with George and Mary Russell.
Okay, our rear wheels are in the Pacific.
And we have a
We're off, folks.
All right, off we go.
Off.
We're off. We're not going to ride right off the beach. It's a bit soft.
You guys know we got a lot of work to do. Wow. Inspiring, inspiring, inspiring. That's all I can say. You guys are too much. Well, for all of our listeners, if you ever thought there's some challenges out there in front of you that might be a little daunting, just always remember George and Mary Russell and what they're doing in 60 and crossing the United States. Amazing. 90 days. 80 days or 90 days?
80 days.
80 days. 80 days, we hope.
It's like around the world in 80 days.
80 days. That's with a reasonable wind. If the wind is against
Oh, so wind's a factor.
wind is a huge factor. If the wind is favourable, you can do without any difficulty 15 miles an hour average.
Wow.
If the wind's against you or unfavourable, you're pushed to do 6 miles an hour.
Oh.
So instead of doing what we hope 60 miles a day, we don't do 30. And that just might delay.
Well, I can tell you being a pilot, you're going the right direction, you have the wind at your back.
Southwest prevailing wind. We hope that it's going to help us more than hinder us.
Yeah, that's good. Absolutely.
Now that little card that go on the trip.
Yeah, it has our FastCap website, and at the bottom of the page it has the American Innovator link.
MI.com is the radio station. The name of our show, and it's an incredible website, the American Innovator.
After the no, put a V in. After the no, V-A.
I'm sorry about that. Innovator.com, the bad speller. And that's our show, and all the shows will be there. This show will be there. Right on the right hand, on the left hand side, you can't miss it. Okay? And then you have our phone number. You have my cell phone number.
Yes.
Okay, because I called you on that.
Yes.
You can call me anytime you want, and then the hope is, if we'll see how we can pull it off.
No, we argue a lot.
That's why they're not riding in tandem, right?
No, we take a lot of different but actually, we thrive on arguing.
It's the fuel that burns.
Oh, very much so. Oh, very much so.
You had to say that, would be good.
Okay, you got
Alrighty,
this.
okay,
You got
all
this
the best,
film.
folks.
Okay, go ahead. Bye-bye.
Paul, make sure you don't hit them when we're driving out. Take care, George, Mary.
You mean they're starting their
Wow.
That's-
Wow.
that's incredible.
That is awesome.
They're starting their adventure right now.
Right now, this is it.
I am definitely inspired.
Okay, so
Let's go to the bike store and let's buy some bikes.
Okay, they're just starting out. They're just pumping up their first hill. And here they come, and we're going to see them in Maine here before long, man. All right, there they are.
We hope it's going to be a bit of downhill.
All right, Team Fox.
All righty.
Hey, it's Team Fox. Oh, there's Foxy Mary.